Well, is that the choice? Georgia, Alabama for the national championship.
Hmm.
Saban as a dog. Georgia favored by 3, total at 52. Do we just stop there? Saban as a dog? Do I just take Saban as a
Is
dog?
it
Do you
that
need
easy?
analysis? Is
Is
it that
it?
easy?
I mean, only once I saw the graphic. I already tweeted it this morning. You can find it on my Twitter. Again, it's Sports BK and Sig. How many times have been a dog in like the last, I don't know, 12 years or something? It's been 6 times. He won 5 times. Like, and I don't see Tim Tebow walking through the door. Tim Tebow in Florida was the only team that beat him, and they were favored by 10 and they won by 11. So it was the only one they didn't cover, which is the only time they didn't win. Um, what changed in a month? That's when these two teams played last 1 month ago today. What changed? Perception wise, Georgia beat Michigan, looked really good doing it. Other than that, did they come up with a way to pressure Bryce Young between now and then? I don't know.
So there's the question, or maybe phrase it a different way. Bryce Young went for 421, 3 touchdowns in that first
Lit
meeting.
him up.
Won the Heisman that night. Number one, can he put another peak performance game on top of what he just did against this talented Georgia defense? Does he have to put together a peak performance to
I like
get that
question
win?
number two. I like
Right? What
question
if
number
what if
two.
it's 280 yards passing? What if it's 310? Does it have to be 420? I mean, I think that's what you're trying to gauge here. The Georgia defense has looked absolutely transcendent. I mean, it hasn't just had a good season, transcendent in all games except this one against Alabama. How much of the same game do we get again? I think that's the hard part of the handicap. You had Georgia's attention the first round. You certainly have it this round. How much does that factor? They've seen it up close. Now you get to make adjustments, not based on tape, but based on actually being on the field. You tell me, you're the dog guy. It's Saban as a dog. That's a great spot. If you told me the play is Alabama +3, just take it and stop worrying about analysis, okay, I go along with it. But I also look at that Georgia defense, man, that front seven is elite. And Alabama handled it the first time. Can they handle it twice in a month?
So we got Saban as a dog last time, +6.5. It's got as high as 7. People got Alabama +7, and it went back down. But a lot of people, a lot of the rhombuses, a lot of parallelograms, I mean, they laid 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, all the way up. A lot of people like Georgia that this was going to be the year. I'll ask you this because a lot of people probably thinking this, watching the show, thinking what they're going to do on Monday night. Which one are you going to feel worse having after the game? You're gonna feel worse having that Georgia ticket and going, Saban did it again, and I bet Georgia again, or are you gonna bet Saban and Alabama and go, okay, Georgia finally beat me. I should have known that was going to happen. Which one feels worse?
I don't know how you can go against Saban in this situation. I mean, if we're talking about who's going to make adjustments, who's going to change their game plan from what they did last time, what do they have to be ready? I mean, that's Saban all day long. That's a coaching edge to Saban any way you slice it. Kirby still has not beaten them. Alabama has dominated this series. I mean, I don't know how you cannot take Alabama. And if Georgia gets its first national title since 1980, congratulations and tip your cap. But how do you not take Saban and Alabama as a dog when the numbers also tell you in rematches? I know everybody wants to say the cliche, hard to beat a team twice in the
Yeah,
same year, or in
yeah,
basketball, hard to beat a team three.
yeah.
Well, it's actually not. I mean, the numbers tell you it's the other way.
Right. That's
Yeah, I
it.
mean, they tell you it's the other way, so we can stop saying that. So
Right.
I mean, I keep, you know me. If it's a favorite, find me a favorite so I can bet on a favorite somewhere. I'm getting pulled to the favorite. That's a favorite. Give me a favorite.
Uh,
I don't know how you don't go Jordan. Talk me off of Saban. Can you?
Newbie, get ready for the drop. Hit it right now. You know what I'm going to say here, right? It's the B How drop for the show. Go ahead.
Show me what you got.
Until Kirby Smart shows me, until Georgia shows me that they're going to beat Alabama, I'm taking Bama. I mean, there's no two ways about it. I got fooled into thinking it the first time. You fooled me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Or no, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That's what it is. I can't be shamed into it again. I don't want to be that one that goes, okay, Georgia's going to win this time. Something's going to, because there's a lot of people that don't want to see Alabama win again. They just don't, because it's the same old thing. I mean, it's hard to beat until you beat the champ, you can't beat a champ. There's just no way. I think the adjustment comes in both of them in the game. I think the game goes under. I don't think it goes over. I think the game goes under. I think we see a different game. I think we see a more ball control game, dare I say. I mean, what did he show you at Cincinnati against Cincinnati? Like, we had to figure out a way to get Cincinnati into the show. He ran the ball over and over and over. So now Georgia's got to go, oh man, wasn't enough. I mean, we know they can't run against us. And now they just ran against Cincinnati. Well, they're not going to run against us. We know they're not going to do that. We're going to stop them because we're just better. Our front seven is better. And maybe that's true. But now
I think it is true. I think that's so that's what you're trying. I mean, it is true. The front seven of Georgia is better. If there's a deficiency, and it's a tiny one, it's on the back end. That's flipped against Cincinnati, right? Yeah. Cincinnati is back end. We talked about it last week on the show. Their back end is really good. Sauce Gardner, those guys in the back end, they're very, very good. They're very good. So that's the flip. That's the flip part of it. Can Georgia run the ball on Alabama? Because if they can't run the ball, then it's Alabama. I mean, they do not want Stetson Bennett to have to win the game. They want to run the football.
So that's what I think when you go to make your wager on this game, because the line ain't going to move. It ain't. We're sticking at 3. I don't think it's going to move much now. We only got 5 days left before you had a month. I think we got books opened it up just under 3, took the bets on Georgia, because I think the books are good needing Alabama again. They needed Alabama. You never get to even say you need Alabama as a book ever. Like, very few times in the past decade, you go, oh yeah, we need Alabama today. They're a dog in the first half. I mean, there's things that are saying we don't get to say. But if Stetson Bennett can win this game, that's what's going to beat you if you take Alabama. And that's what's going to beat Alabama on Monday, is he's going to have that game that just beats you. Okay. You tip your hat, whatever hat you're wearing. I mean, today I wore the DraftKings one again because it got such a good response last time. Yep. That's the only way I think that we lose this game, if we take Bama. But I think the game is different in the adjustments is the under. But these two teams know each other so well. Something's going to happen. It's going to be, I mean, I don't know. Not that Kirby Smart's not a good coach, but sometimes some guys have your number. And I just feel like it's not going to change from a month ago to what I saw.
Overs 12-5 in national title games over the last 17 since 05. Right? 5-0-1 in the last 6.
Is it
so?
Really?
Okay, real quick. We spent a lot of time on this game. We'll move through the NFL a little more quickly. But in game, what are we watching in game? What are some keys? How do you play it in game?
Oh man. So I'll be looking to play the total probably more than the side, only because so the game plan is this. I like the under, less scoring, which means start at 52 and bet under pregame. And then as it goes down, maybe bet it again on the ladder down. And then if you start to see something happen or quick turnover and it gets back on that pace to just get close back to the original number, bet over. Way different than like the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl we had talked about on the show last time, and the game plan there was we liked the over, we leaned the over, but we thought that scores were going to change. There was going to be, side. So it was take every plus you could grab on the sides. So we took Utah pregame plus points. They got out to a multiple score lead. We took Ohio State in game plus. Now we had a huge middle on the side. Mm-hmm. The one thing you didn't do that was probably smart was touch the total. Because at what point do you, like, if you don't have a total play at 62 or 64, whatever it closed, how do you play over 71, then over 76? And then, like, you got to be careful. But what I was watching that game, early on, it was evident that nobody was stopping anybody. The weather conditions were perfect. The grass was perfect. Like they were flying. I was trying to get to the peak and go under. So you can make a quick bet. And this game is different. This game's totally different. We're looking to go under, and then over, I think, for the total. For the side, B-How, I mean, do you think there's going to be some scoring lead changes in this thing?
This feels, you mentioned that Utah, Ohio State. I liked that one on the sides, and you're right. I was focused on the sides on that and the money line rather than the total, just because you can't watch both there. I was trying to watch one.
Right.
I already had 6.5 at Utah, so you're right. You get that Ohio State team, that's a giant middle at +7.5, plus money on the money line. And you could see, if you're watching that, Ohio State was having no trouble. Once it got going, it felt like they could score a billion. I mean, they were just wide open. So that felt like it made some sense in the swing. But you're right. I think the challenge in these for newer bettors or non-pros, like most of us are, is when the fireworks start, at what point is the peak? How early do you jump in? Do I go after the first couple of drives? Do I wait to the second quarter? And that's an impossible question for you to answer, I realize, because you got to watch the game and they're all different. But I think that's the challenge. That's the challenge, to not get misled in one of the directions and then you're caught chasing.
For sure. Noobs, what do you got? You got a question?
So one of the big money makers for us and the listeners of the show was looking at Alabama in the first half all year long. And when you're looking around at this, you can shop around. You can even find getting a half point with Alabama. So if you're tied at half, you're cashing that ticket. Is that something you guys are interested in? Can Alabama come out firing, or is it going to be Georgia who maybe comes with the spark? Because I know that's been a play that we've loved all year long.
What do you think, B-How?
That's a great one. Real quick, I'm looking at DraftKings since you got the hat on there. And Newbie's right. You get Alabama as a half a point dog. So we talked about, we laid the 7, we laid the 4, we laid it hasn't been as lock as it was last year. Alabama first half last year was a mortal lock.
Yeah.
This year, a couple times early, we didn't get there. But that's a good question. That's one. Do you go ahead and ride that? If I'm riding that, laying all these points, and I like them at +3 in the game, do I take them on the first half line?
I think you do if you like the under. If you like the over, I think you may hesitate to do it, because I think the game plays out more in Georgia's favor if it's going over, which means they could be leading at halftime. The tie at halftime is actually a nice edge to have if you're taking the dog, because this game could be what, 10-10? Could it be 17-17? Maybe, but I don't think it gets that high. But 52 is the total, so 24.5 to 27.5 is the first half total. Let's see. I'll take a quick look.
What'd you just say for the first half? What would you make the first half based on a 52 total? 27?
It could be as low as 24.5 if you want to take a stand. If it could be as high as 27. But it's 52, so it's probably 26. I mean, it's just half.
Draft. You're right. Have you done this before? Have you made lines before? DraftKings 25.5.
Yeah, I mean, it's a math problem. It's not right. Exactly. So, field goals more than touchdowns in the first half. So you could look at props there, like field goal props and things like that. But I don't think it's just an automatic play, to answer your question, Newbie.
Gotcha.
I think you have to figure the style of the game that you think is going to happen, and then you can feel more comfortable playing it.
Well, that's why I'm listening to you guys.
Yeah. If you tell me that you get Bama plus money and they can be leading or tied at halftime and you get paid, seems like the play.
But only again, minus 105 on DraftKings, so it's not like you're laying. I feel like that's just worth a sprinkle alone.
Yeah, that would be worth it. All right, B-How, what else you got for us? You got anything else?
I like this big game. We got Newbie flying in to drop halftime bets on this show. It's a big time show. I love this. Let's go.
This is it. You said it a few weeks ago. No complaining about college football ending, because this is it.
Come on.
After Monday, We got that abyss of February and just basketball, and we still don't have no baseball, bro. So we got hockey and NBA, but college basketball is going to take over a lot of our time. But yeah, this is it. So I get the first half bets in, get the first quarter bets in.
I'm in.
Prop bets in. There's all kind of things happening. A lot of in-game betting as well.
I'm in. I like it.
Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, click on another video right here on the screen. And if you really liked it, consider subscribing below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.